Coming to you almost live from the Herbert I. Greenberg Studios at WHIG, it's Up Late with Sam Bass.
Thank you, Scott Smith, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another unforgettable of Up Late with me, Sam Bass. Tonight's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Sparkling Creations of right here in Rocky Mount, your one-stop shop for turning any gathering into a celebration. Whether you're planning a wedding, a backyard bash, or just want to ride a mechanical bull without being judged, Sparkling Creations has got it all. Sparkling has tents, tables, bounce houses, and a flair to make it happen stress-free, sparkle-full, and Southern-style spectacular. That's how they roll. Thank you, Jamie, for that tongue twister. Also, I want to thank our other sponsor, Phil's Music Exchange in Wilson. Phil has the best selection of vinyl you're going to see in this area. He's got cassettes. He's got 8 tracks. If it was recorded, Phil has it. Tonight's show, we've got a beach music legend. So if you're looking for beach music, Phil can either find it for you or he's already got it there in the store, possibly on vinyl, maybe even on 8-track. And if you go in there and tell him Sam Bass sent you, he will give you an extra stamp on his rewards card. So make sure when you go in, you tell Phil you heard it on Up Late with Sam Bass. Tonight, we're bringing the beach to Rocky Mount, minus the sand in your shoes. Our guest has been setting the soundtrack for Carolina summer for decades. He also hosts his own radio show on 107.9 WNCT. Craig Woolard is in the house. From the embers to his solo career, Craig's voice is smoother than a neat pour of bourbon at Sam's Shack. So grab your shagging shoes, pour yourself something cold, settle in, maybe something room temperature, if you know what I mean. Tonight's going to be a good one. So I've been kind of taking it easy this summer. It's been the summer of Sam. Hadn't worked, hadn't done anything but hang out at the beach. You know, just chilling at the beach, winning awards, stuff like that. You know how I roll. And I've been listening to a lot of beach music, particularly Craig with the Embers. So as the summer winds down, I want to take a moment to reflect on some of my favorite beach music songs and imagine how I might have spun them myself. A little twist here, a little nudge there. If I'd been the one behind the mic and the pen and the lyrics. So without further ado, here is my top 5 favorite beach music songs as influenced or written by yours truly. Number 5, I love beach music. I love beach. Enough of that. Oh, no. This is arguably the most iconic beach music song ever. I wouldn't change it slightly. I probably would just say, I love beach music and bourbon. Number 4, Summertime's Calling Me. I need to stop singing right now and get Craig up. Okay, Craig, we'll get you up in a minute. Summertime's Calling Me. This one's a nostalgic track that captures the spirit of summer at the beach. My version, however, would be slightly different. It would be more like, my wife's calling me to get off the beach. It's a good thing I can't hear because I've got the wind and the roar of the ocean, my music playing, my shaboomy flapping in the wind. Cheers. Sorry, Marty. Like it, Sandra. Number 3, You Keep Telling Me Yes. My version would be, you keep telling me yes, but Sandra keeps telling me no. Sandra owns the joint, by the way. No, Sam, you cannot say that word on the air. No, Sam, you can't have a teleprompter. No, Sam, you can't have a bourbon budget. I'm just playing, Sandra. I'm just kidding around. I got a feeling tonight's going to be a bad night for me. I'm going to get in trouble for this, but anyway. Number 2. Do you believe in love at first sight? Do you believe in love at first sight? That's a good one. I wouldn't change much about it. But what I would say, maybe add a few words. Do you believe in love at first sight? Do you believe this is my first glass of bourbon? Yes. Or as Gen Z, we learned recently would say, bet. And my number one beach music song in the key of Sam Bass is 60 Minute Man. Folks, where are you going to get this entertainment in Rocky Mountain at? Craig's going to probably sign me up to sing with the Embers after this. But on second thought, 60 Minute Man, that's kind of a perfect sign. It's just a perfect as it is. So just let that sink in a minute. We'll be right back. Sit tight. Craig Woolard's going to be right here.
If you're planning a party, wedding, birthday party, baby shower, or corporate event, Sparkling Creations can make it memorable for you. With tents, tables, bouncy houses, and more. We can even provide a fire pit for outdoor events. If you want to be adventurous, we have a mechanical bull. You name the event, and Sparkling Creations has you covered. Located at 976 North Winstead Avenue, Sparkling Creations, where we make every event sparkle.
I never thought this would happen.
I never thought this would happen.
I never thought this would happen.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you.
When the unexpected comes calling, call the one team prepared for what no one can predict.
We got you.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Phil's Music Exchange of Wilson offers thousands of vinyl LPs, CDs, cassettes, 8 tracks. They even have reel-to-reels, DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS, video games, an abundance of music for the music lover. Check them out today. Phil's Music Exchange in Tarboro, 207 West Tarboro Street, downtown Wilson, or philsmusicexchange.com.
As promised, the man himself, the beach music legend, Craig Woolard is here.
Happy to be here, Sam. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you so much for coming. I know you had to fight that Raleigh traffic to get here. So
It's unbelievable.
So, got a couple questions I'm going to throw at you here. We're going to go back a little ways in your history here. So your mom said you came out singing.
I think she meant I came out crying. But
well, maybe it was in a great, tune. But anyhow, do you remember the first song you ever sang that said, "Hey, yeah, this is what I want to do"?
Man, I sang in the choir in last year of elementary school, and I sang in the church choir. But I didn't know anything. It's just I loved the sound of music. And when I got into the high school band, man, that was it. And so, as a matter of fact, in the high school band, we would come and play at Tarrytown Mall in Rocky Mount for Jim Gardner's gubernatorial race. And we must have done that several times. And we get to, coming from Washington, North Carolina, we get to Rocky Mount, and it was like, man, this must be Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the background. This is Rocky Mount behind us, how much it's grown over the years. Now, how many instruments do you play?
Well, I play all the saxes, bari, tenor, alto, and soprano. I play a little piano, I play flute, and I want to play guitar, but I have so far been unable to get that happening.
Yeah, well, you've been around enough to, I played in bands growing up, and you kind of learn stuff from the other guys.
You sure do.
So are you originally in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
My dad was going to Duke Law School, and Mom got pregnant, and so I was born in Durham, and as soon as he graduated, He took a job with what is now known as the ABC board, I guess, but at that time it was ATU, Alcohol Tobacco Unit. And we lived in Elizabeth City. We lived in North Wilkesboro because he worked looking for stills, you know.
Okay.
So
revenue.
And that's right, exactly right. And then we moved to his hometown of Washington to move into the house in which he was born.
Okay.
So I'm a Washington, North Carolina homeboy.
Okay. My wife's going to want me to ask, are you related to Jenny Woolard? Does that ring a bell?
You know
one
what?
of her college friends from Little Washington.
I don't know.
Okay, well that's...
I don't know, but Washington is full of Woollards and Alley Goods.
I can imagine. So you've been performing since you were 14, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
What's your first gig you really remember that you got paid for?
The first gig I ever got paid for was in Core Point, North Carolina, which is down the Pamlico across the river from Washington, way down the river. And we played at the pavilion there, and I was 14, I think, and we played, and at the end of the night, guy came up and gave us about $1.50 a piece, and I said, "What's this for?" He said, "That's your pay." I said, "You mean you get paid for this?"
You became a professional musician at that point.
I did.
So, but I want to ask you about early in your career, there was a thing called the Holiday Inn circuit. Tell me about how intense that was and how many nights a week. Any cool stories you can share from that period?
Well, I mean, it's where I learned my work ethic doing that, because we would book a year at the time. And the drummer for the band was a guy who I had met in Washington because he married a girl from there. His name was Irvin Hicks. He had been the drummer for the Swingin' Medallions and the Pieces of Eight.
Wow.
And we thought, man, this is the best drummer in the world. When I came up to Raleigh, I played rock and roll for a few months and made no money. And at that point, Irvin said, let's put together a 4-piece band and play the Holiday Inn circuit and wear tuxedos. So we did, booked it a year in advance, and we would work 6 nights a week, Monday through Saturday, probably 2 weeks at a time, at Holiday Inns that were owned by the company. So we worked 2 in Raleigh, 2 in Florence, 1 in Hialeah, Florida, 1 in Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Tyler, and Baytown, Texas. That was our circuit.
Wow. Pretty spread out deal there.
It was. And you know, working 6 nights a week, some nights there'd be people in the lounge, sometimes there wouldn't. You know, you just learn to keep going.
There you go. So let's talk about how you first started with the Embers. How did it all come about? When was it? How did that happen?
I had been offered to come with the Embers 2 or 3 times, but I was making great money with the Holiday Inn band, so I didn't. And then one day, we were playing in Columbia, South Carolina, and we were rehearsing. The phone rang, and it was Jackie Gore, and he said, "Hey, Craig, I want to offer you and Gerald Davis a gig." And what had happened was the Embers were a 6-piece group, and 3 of their members had become dissatisfied and wanted to branch off and form their own band. So 3 of their guys left, and they brought in me and Gerald Davis and a guy from right here in Rocky Mount, he's now gone, Doug Strange. And we became half of the Embers.
Very cool. So I will share a story with you. The first time I ever saw the Embers, you were very early. I think you told me you joined the Embers in '76.
Correct.
I was at Atlantic Beach at a place called the Pump House on the Circle.
Yes.
And I'm going to see this band called the Embers. And you guys jumped out there and did the theme from Rocky, which is very a surprising tune for any band to play.
Gonna fly now.
Y'all had the horns and everything, and I was like, these guys sound just like the record.
Well, the beverages that they were serving at the Pump House probably had a lot to do with your estimation.
Probably. So the other thing, and I don't even know if you do the floor shows anymore, but I can remember they used to have I went to see you, I was in Goldsboro. I think it was at a bowling alley of all places, and you guys played your set, and then all of a sudden everybody starts pushing their chairs up. I'm like, why are they doing this? And somebody said, well, they do a floor show. And I know y'all had the Las Vegas floor show, and you had the Raymond Massey floor show. But the Las Vegas floor show, I remember you did Rod Stewart.
I did.
And trying to think, who else did you do?
I did Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
In that particular show.
So
And
tell
we also had guest appearances by Curtis Mayfield, who was Jackie.
Right.
Ernest Tubb, who was Gerald Davis. And I think Doug Strange portrayed Cher.
And somebody did Waylon and Willie.
Yeah, that was Gerald and me.
That's funny. How did that all come about? You don't still do that anymore, right?
No, it seemed like after a certain era, the people wanted to dance.
Yeah.
You know, we can see anything we want to see on YouTube or whatever, so we just give them the dance music.
Well, I've got the vinyl of the Embers live in Myrtle Beach where it's got the floor show on it.
Wow.
And it's really just very entertaining stuff.
Then you know that the Raymond Massey segment could not be performed today.
I do know that. I do know that from McBee, South Carolina, wherever he said he was from. But they're really just good stuff. And again, like it's probably aged out at this point for all of us. So you left the Embers for a little while, and you formed the Craig Woolard Band. Tell me about that whole experience.
Well, before I tell you that, Sam, let me just tell you that when I would do the Rod Stewart show, on Wednesday nights in Raleigh, when we would play at the Embers Club, which was at the Hilton downtown.
Embers Hilton Underground.
That's it. All the wrestlers would be taping on Channel 5. And they would come in on Wednesdays, and let me tell you, it was a party. And one night, Ric Flair came in with his black, silver, and ermine robe. And he said, hey, brother, I'm going to give you this and let you wear this when you do your Rod Stewart act. So it was big time, you know.
Wow.
And I didn't realize how big time it was until this guy came up and he said, man, can I take a picture of you in your suit, in the robe? And I said, sure, man. He took the picture. And then he said, now, will you take a picture of me in the robe? That's when I realized the robe was the star.
There you go. Yeah, well, I mean, Ric Flair's the man. There's no question about that. Woo! So, getting into the Craig Woolard Band, how did that come about?
It's a long story. To make it short, our leader, Bobby Tomlinson, got involved with some people from outside the area, and we were going up to New York and recording, and they wanted me to sign a contract. I had never had a contract with the Embers, never. But this was a contract that really handcuffed me. I don't know why. And I refused to sign it, and so I was asked to leave. And so that is what happened. And of course, I left. My son was in his first year of college. Had to do something, so I put together the Craig Woolard Band.
Yeah. How long did you do that?
10 years.
Wow, I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, because right before the 10th year anniversary, the Embers came to me and offered me a package to come back, which included Marquee. So we're now known as the Embers, featuring Craig Woolard. And so I came back, and everything's good.
So yeah, it's the Embers featuring Craig Woolard. Very good, very good. So you're like really the OG of the whole deal.
Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, I'm the lead singer. Everybody else sings. I'm considered the lead singer. We've got a great bunch of guys right now. It's one of the better bands that we've had through the years.
So my research team of thousands of people tells me that even younger folks are embracing beach music these days, and shagging is a TikTok trend. Do you know this?
I do not know about TikTok.
So I don't either. But that tells you a little bit something about us. But Robbie, if you could pop up one of those TikTok videos.
Oh yeah. You never have to walk alone. You see. Getting back at one, yeah, just the two of us. I don't wanna miss a thing to make you feel my love. Had the time of my life, so loving like you do. Time after time, I'll be there for you, baby.
So do you know how to shag?
I know the basic shag, which my wife, who is from Rocky Mount, taught me.
Okay.
But as far as award-winning shaggers, it ain't me.
Yeah, me neither, so it's a drag if you can't shag.
That's it.
So I might want to get you to teach me whatever you do know, because I don't know a whole lot about it. I kind of knew that college version of the shag. It wasn't like the real people, like, Scratch and Vicky from Wilson.
That'll get you by, Sam.
Yeah, it's enough to get by. So you performed everywhere from Kitty Hawk to the Caribbean, beach clubs to festivals. Is there one particular gig that really stands out in your mind?
Well, we played in Ottawa, Canada for the American Ambassador's retirement party. And also when we were associated with Anheuser-Busch, they flew us to New York, to Chicago, Palm Springs. I think we did a San Diego show, did a Key West show, a one-nighter in Key West.
Wow.
And they actually flew us to Honolulu, Hawaii to do a convention there. So, I guess Honolulu was about as good as it gets.
Pretty big deal. Now, the other thing I want to ask you about, I think I remember this, the Jerry Butler moment. Was this in Wilson?
Yes.
Where the audience had to pull in people, he felt ill.
He fell down.
And I believe Johnny Hackney.
Yep.
And you, and who else what happened?
Well, I had the night off, and somebody had gotten me tickets to the show. And so we went, and I love Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler. And he came out on stage, and I was sitting in the middle of the crowd. I can't wait for this. And he started out to sing, and then he turned around and looked at his backup singer, who was his sister. And Debbie says she heard him say, "I can't do this, can I?" And she went, "No." And he started walking off stage and collapsed. And that was, everybody in the audience was like, "No, oh no," because Jerry Butler was not a young man at that time. And so, almost the whole band, several of the band, rushed out to go with him to the hospital. They called the ambulance. And the late, great Steve Hardy was there. And Steve took the microphone and said, "Well, Jerry's not going to be able to finish the show, but we've got a solution if you want to stay and enjoy the music. We have Craig Woolard in the audience if he'd come up to the stage." And I was, okay, sure, And we had Bill with the monitors.
Bill Bowles.
I forgot his
trumpet player?
No, he was a piano player, sax player.
Okay.
He's a great musician. And he came up and...
I know you're talking about. Go ahead, I'll think about it in a minute.
He came up and we talked it over for a minute in the huddle, and then we pulled it off. And it was a great moment because everybody there was, of course, there to hear Jerry Butler, but to see him fall like that and to say, "Oh my God, has he died? What's going on?" The whole audience pulled together with us on stage, and it was a night to remember, man. Let me tell you.
I can imagine. So we're going to move on a little bit. So you have shared the stage with the Four Tops, the Rolling Stones.
Not me.
Okay.
Early in the mid-'60s, the Embers opened up for the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys, and the Dave Clark Five at Dorton Arena.
Okay. That is an awesome story.
Yes, it is.
I want to talk to you about your Sunday night beach music show. So what was it like? I know you took over Steve Hardy's original beach party. How did that come about? And tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I had heard through the grapevine that Steve was sick. Steve was ill. And I got a phone call one day from Henry Hinton, the proprietor, owner of IBX Media, which also owned the station that Steve was on. And he said, Steve is going to be retiring at the end of the year. And we're considering candidates, and the thought of you just came to my mind. And I said, well, Henry, I've never done anything like that. He said, I think you can do it. So he supported me, and he trained me. You know, he had Bill Cosart, one of his DJs, come in and train me every Sunday night. And then they said, okay, you're going to fly on your own. And many mistakes later, I'm still at it.
Well, I enjoy it. And in fact, I texted you Sunday night and said, hey, feel free to plug the show.
Right.
And once that happened, my phone blew up with people saying, man, I just heard you talking there. Craig Woolard talking about he's going to be on your show, that kind of thing. So that was really cool. So I appreciate you doing that.
Oh, absolutely, man. And as soon as this is about to hit the air, I'll do the same thing, and we'll see if we can't blow it up again.
Well, maybe I'll call you and we'll do a little something on the air.
We'll do it. Yes.
Yeah, sounds good. So I did want to talk to you one more thing about your work with Petty Enterprises in Victory Junction. Tell me some piece of that.
That was with the Craig Woolard Band, and I don't know how I got introduced to Kyle Petty, because he's the one who started Victory Junction Gang. But we came to an agreement that we would put together a beach music album, and all the proceeds would go to Victory Junction Gang.
Very good.
Which we did, and then we played a concert, I forget where it was, for Victory Junction Gang, and brought in more money. I got to meet Richard Petty. Of course, I got to meet Kyle, you know, so
very cool.
It was a great thing.
So you've made fans in every corner by just your generosity. Your wife posted something on Facebook. She didn't say what you did, but was talking about what a great guy you are. I saw that today. What drives you to do that? I know giving back is a big thing.
Yeah, and that's such a cliche, you know, to say giving back. But I really feel that if you're given the gift of being in the public eye, and it is a gift and it can be taken away at any moment. But if you're given that gift, then you have to use that gift to do some good for somebody somewhere whenever they ask. So I was able to do that.
Very good. That is something to be proud of. So I want to ask you, if you had to pick a song, it's kind of a put you on the spot deal, that would represent your entire career, what would it be and why? 60-minute man, I'm just kidding.
Well, maybe in the old days.
I maybe can't do 60 no more.
That would be a better one. I don't know. I guess the song that I recorded in 2001, and it won Song of the Year in 2002. It's called Love Don't Come No Stronger Than Yours or Mine. And I didn't write it, but it's a great song, and I got to sing it, and I got to record it and arrange it and everything. So, I mean, that's just as good an emotion as I can think of with a song.
So you said it won an award. I'm assuming it won an Academy?
Yeah.
So tell me what the Academy stands for.
Carolina Beach Music Awards, and they wanted something that sounded like the Grammys.
Right.
So they called it the Cammys, and it happens in the merry month of November. Every year we go down to Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, to the Alabama Theater, and everybody in the business comes together, DJs, bands, club owners, and people vote for who they want to win what. And
you've won a bunch of them.
I have won some.
It's like 13, am I right?
I think it's okay.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Well, my research staff again. I think 13 is the number we're looking at. But that is awesome. So we're running out of time. I want to thank you so much for coming on. Man, this has just been a blast. I've had to skip over like 20 questions here. just because of time, but I think we hit on all the really good stuff. I thank you for coming, and maybe we can get you back on here sometime. Maybe we can get you to sing something.
I'd love to do that. Before we leave, let me say hello to my wife from Rocky Mount. Hey, Debbie. And let me also remind everybody that there's a book out by Bobby Tomlinson, his story of the Embers, and it's available from Bobby.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Craig Woolard, this is a beach music icon. Thanks for coming, Craig.
Thank you for having me, Sam, and thanks for the bourbon.
Yes, sir. We'll be right back. Hey, I want to thank my special guest tonight, Craig Woolard of the Embers, featuring Craig Woolard, for appearing here tonight. Had a great conversation. He's a great guy. And listen, every Thursday night at 10 and Saturday night at 10, tune in for Up Late with Sam Bass right here on WHIG. Thanks for watching. See you soon.